Hello and welcome to Pretty Dashboard. It looks like this is your first time logging in, so I just wanted to make this video for you so we could quickly go over kind of everything that's going on here so you understand where to begin, and I'll give you kind of some next steps to get started and have success with being a pretty builder on Pretty Dashboard. So after you log in, as you've noticed, this is where it's going to bring you. This is your main builder page. This is where you do everything. You build out your website, you build out your funnels, and everything is all in one place. So I'm just going to quickly go through this top row of items here to show you what everything is and how to access everything. And then I will move on and go through the actual builder and everything so you can see how to get started there. So, as I said, when you first log in, you will be brought to the builder. This is your main page where you build out your website, where you build out your pages and pop-ups, and where you add widgets, and you can access the settings here. You can change your domain name, and I'll go through all of that as well once we're on the builder part of this. But this is basically where you land when you first log in. So we'll now move on to the store, which is actually a built-in e-commerce. So you can build out products, you can build out subscriptions, you can have discounts. So, you can see your orders here that you get. This is where you can add your products, and it's really easy to add a product. You can do physical, digital, service, membership. And so just quickly for physical, you can add your price, you can put it on sale, you can make it a subscription, you can track your inventory, you can have different variations, you can actually have custom thank you pages for each of your products. So when someone purchases a certain product, you can have it go to a specific thank you page that you create in the builder, and then you link it here. You can tag your customers, so in your CRM, your customer relationship manager, you will see all that information and what tags they're under, and I'll show you that in just a sec because that's the next item. And you can also ask additional questions. So if you were having a t-shirt that maybe you wanted their name on or something, you could ask for their name and different notes for whatever reason. You can hide your product, and this is great for funnels because in a funnel you normally sell something, or maybe you're trying to get them to sign up for a free webinar or something. But if you're selling something in the funnel, it's nice to be able to hide this product so it doesn't show up on your main store website. So when they're in the funnel, that's the only place they'll be able to see and purchase that product. You can add categories, and of course you can add images. Now the description is pretty cool because you can have a regular just text description of your product, but you can also use the drag and drop editor that you use on the main builder with all the different widgets. So you can add a lot of different things to the description and make it really unique for each product. So we'll go back to the store real quick. You can also, like I said, you can add subscriptions, you can add discount codes, you can style each of the pages, like the main product page, product layout, like the main listing of all the products, the cart, the checkout page, and the quick cart view page. So you can do that right from here, or you can access them in your builder as well. You can go through the settings of your store. So most people will want to see what kind of payment providers we offer. So you can have as many payment providers that we have on this list up, so your customers will have many options. Most people use Stripe, Afterpay, PayPal, and Klarna, which I already have on here, so it wasn't showing in that list, but just know you can connect these things and offer that for when people purchase your products. You can add your privacy policies, refund policy, all that good stuff, shipping options, and details about your store. So let's move on to the contacts. So this is going to be your customer relationship manager. This is where all your contacts are, their emails and the tags that they are under. So that way you can access different things about them. And you can also put them into different member groups, which will give them access to certain pages that you specify. Because on the builder, when you're building out a page, you can decide to have it public, you can have it password protected, or you can have it be available for only the people that are in a member group. And the way someone gets into a member group is when you put a sign up form, you can have it so when they sign up with that specific registration form, they will get put into a specific member group. You can also have it so when someone checks out, and they're purchasing a membership, it will automatically put them in a member group, and then they can only see the pages that you specify for them. So if someone that did not purchase your product or did not register through you, they will not be able to see those pages. Only the members will, which is pretty cool. So you have a few things here. You can have a forms that bring messages, so you can check the messages here. You have booking and appointments, and we'll go over that in a sec. And you have email and automations, which we'll also go over in a sec. And then you just have some regular settings. You can look at the tags and everything, and the membership settings for each of your memberships. You can have, if you want to have member approval, or if they're just allowed to register, whatever you want to do. Okay, so the appointments. Now, this is going to be more for online coaches at the current moment. So it's going to be more just personal appointments or coaching call appointments or discovery call appointments, or just whatever kind of appointment you want. It's similar to Calendly. So right now it's not full-fledged for a service-based salon business because there isn't a reschedule feature. Now, I'm not saying that won't be something in the future, but for now, there's no reschedule feature, so I wouldn't recommend using it for a salon, but if you want to, you totally can, and it's really easy to use. And if you need help setting up your appointment, there's a video that you can click right here, and it'll show you how to set that up. It's nice because you can have different booking events, you can look at your schedule, you can have different operators, which is just like who you are, and maybe you have other people that work for you or whatever, and you can have different services, like I said, like coaching calls, discovery calls, things like that. Now, let's move on to the last item here, the emails and automations, aka my favorite section. I love email. So as you can see here, you can see how many subscribers you had. You can increase your limit. So if you picked a plan that only has like 100 subscribers or whatever, if you're starting to reach that limit, you can increase your limit and add on more subscribers for an additional monthly fee. Right now, it's about $5 for about 500 more subscribers. So you don't have to go too crazy, but you can go all the way up to about 500,000 subscribers if you wanted to. But as you can see in this dashboard, you can create different email campaigns. So you could create a campaign, regular campaign. You can do an A/B split campaign, which is just two different emails for the same campaign. And whichever one gets clicked more and opened more will be the one that's used most often. You can pick from our templates list and just drag and drop your information in. You could create it from scratch. You could do a regular text email, or you could use the drag and drop builder and just drag in different sections here, whatever you want, and add in photos and videos and all kinds of things. It's super, super simple, and you can move on and select the audience you want to send it to. So throughout this process, when people purchase things, when people fill out forms on your website, you can have them be put into certain lists that will segment people. So if someone purchases, let's say, a full lash aftercare set or something, you could have a list that says purchased aftercare or just lashes or whatever. So you can specifically message those people and give them products that are similar, or just speak to just those people, which is really nice. So we'll get out of here and we'll go back to the emails. And the other cool thing is you have automations. Just like on MailChimp or whatever you use, you can have it so when someone fills out a form, it adds them to a list, and then because they got added to a list, they will get an email sent. So we'll take a look at like my sign up. So the sign up for Pretty Dash, when someone gets added to the list of being a builder, which happens when after they sign up, I have it set to put them into the builders list. So when they get added to the builders list, it triggers this automation and will send them the welcome email. And I can always add in more emails and more automations to this and go from there. But for now, it's just one quick little email, but it's nice because you can do that for each thing. You could create this for each product or each form, and you can have different automations. And you can also see the analytics and the goals that you have for this automation. You can also, like I said, have lists and subscribers and segments. So I have different lists for people that sign up to be builders, people that book my demo, and there's just a general list, and those all automatically get added through the forms and the checkout forms that I have it set to automatically add them to these lists. You can also just create different segments, so I have everyone in a segment so I can easily email everyone. You can see who's unsubscribed, which is really nice. And again, you have these email templates that you can use. You can create your own and save them, so you have your own saved templates to use all the time. And you also just have regular settings for email. So you can add your email that you purchase if you have a domain and you use Google to create a business email. Mine is hello@pretty-co. You can add that here, so that way you can, when you send emails, it'll be from hello@pretty-co. You can add your brand details, which you have to do with emails for the legal stuff. So you put your name and address and all that information in here. Now, another item that I want to talk about is just quickly this button here, the My Sites and Funnels button. So when you click that, you're going to see a list of all the funnels you've created and all the websites you've created. If you're on the first 2 plans, you only get 1 website, but if you're on the second 2 plans, you get 3 and almost 10 websites. So you could have 10 different websites, and it's all under the same dashboard, and same with the funnels. And funnels are basically just mini websites in itself. So you can have those all listed here as well and access them all from here. And if you need help, as always, there's videos everywhere that you can watch throughout this builder. And the last thing on this top list here is your dashboard. This is your back-end dashboard. So you can see your analytics here. You can see how people are finding you. You can add admins, which is nice because you can make it so people can access your site, and you give them certain permissions to be able to access different things. Maybe you have an employee that you only want to be able to check the messages. You could just give them access to just that. Or maybe you have an employee that builds your whole website for you. You can give them access to everything, but it's not under yours. It's their own email that you add. So you would add someone as an admin and send them an invitation and give them the permissions that they can have. By default, they have access to all sites and funnels, but you can change that as well. So you can make it so they only have access to maybe 1 or 2 different ones that you want them to have. Now, I don't want to show you my billing section because it's private information, but your billing section will basically just be, if you are on a trial, it's going to show you all the different plans and have you sign up if you want to, or it's going to show you what plan you are on currently, and you can always upgrade or cancel from there. Now, the fun thing is we also offer affiliate referrals. So if you refer people to Pretty Dashboard, you will get 25% recurring commission, which means if someone signs up for a monthly plan, you will get 25% of that monthly plan every single month for the life of their subscription. If they sign up for a yearly plan, you'll get 25% of that yearly plan every single year. And you have your own dedicated affiliate dashboard, which is super nice because you can create links to send to people to keep track of it. And the links actually stay in a website's cookies for 60 days. So if someone were to visit your link and then come back and sign up for Pretty Dashboard 30 days later, it would still credit you for that sale. And then your account is just going to be these normal account settings where you can change your password and everything. So that's the top button section here. So we will now move on to playing with the builder a little bit. Okay, so as I said, this is your main builder page when you first log in. We're gonna play with pages right now. So we're on the home page right now, and as you can see, these are the lists of other pages. These are just gonna kind of section them out. So if you wanted to add different sections, they're called page groups, just to keep you organized. So you have your blog here, your portfolio, your store. You don't have to have any of these things if you don't want to. It typically just comes with the pages, and then you add the blog, you add the portfolio, and you add the store if that's something that you need for your site. But to add a new page, just quickly click Add New Page, and you can click and use different pages that we already have built out for you, or you can just use an empty page and put your page name in, put the URL you want, and if you have different groups, you can add them to the group. And then, like I said earlier, you can make these pages public, password protected, or members only. So if someone purchased a product that made them a member, you can make it so this page is only accessed by that certain member. And if someone that isn't a member lands on that page, it'll just show a login form. And even if they try to log in and they maybe have an account on your site, if they have just a regular account on your site, but they're not in that member group, they still won't be shown that page, which is really nice. And you can use alternative headers for every single page. So instead of having the primary header on every page, you could use a different one on every single page. You also have the ability to add SEO in here. And if you need help with SEO, just watch the video. But you can put your keywords in here. You can make it so it adds it to the sitemap, which just helps with search. So if you don't want something to be found, you would unclick this. But if you do want it to be found on Google, you would keep that clicked. So when you add a new page, it basically just looks like this, and you can start building everything out. And we'll go through the builder and the widgets and everything in a second, but I just want to show you how to add pages real quick. And then you can also add pop-ups, which is really cool. So you would add a new pop-up, and you can use ones that are already created, or you could just have an empty pop-up, and it looks just like a giant page, except it's small, and you can put in all the same widgets. You can make it look exactly like a giant page, but you have a few settings, so you can put the different locations of the pop-up. You can have it up there. You can have it cover the whole thing. You can change the name. You could show pop-up after a certain amount of time on the page. You could show it on page scroll. You can show pop-up so when someone's about to exit the page, it'll show them, and you can allow it on mobile devices because by default, most mobile doesn't allow pop-ups, but you can bypass that with that. And you can also specify that when someone closes the pop-up, you maybe don't show it to them anymore, or you don't show it to them for the rest of the browsing session, but when they log in again, they see it again, or you can show it again on next page visit as well. You can have different animations for the pop-up. You can also specify where you want this pop-up to be shown, like which page you want it on. And you can edit the layout of it. So you can have the background color different. You can do an overlay background like that so it kind of covers everything and you only see the pop-up, or you can make it just faded out. You can change the close button color, and you can change the padding size, which just is more, and you can change the padding size. You can also add photos on the sides, the top, which is really nice. So you can have a lot of fun with the pop-ups. Okay, so that's how you add the pop-ups. Now let's quickly talk about funnels. Now, as I said earlier, funnels are basically mini websites. Funnels are just going to bring your customer on a journey on one goal, whereas a main hub website kind of has all the information, all your pricing, all your photos, all your different services, whereas a funnel is focused on one thing. So if you want someone to purchase your course, you would put them in through a funnel to purchase your course. So the funnels are essentially going to look exactly like this. So if we went to a funnel, and I'll just go to one of my test pages, you can see that the funnel page looks exactly the same as the main builder page. So you can easily build out your funnels. But the funnel is set up in steps, as I said, on a journey. So they first get brought to the landing page. When they click start the challenge, they're going to be brought to the new pop-up page, which is basically just a sign up. And then when they secure their spot, they will be brought to the thank you page. So it's all just kind of a one-way journey. You want them to sign up for just this. You don't want a million other buttons and links and bringing them out of the funnel. So you can have, depending on the plan, up to unlimited funnels. On the biggest plan we have, you can have unlimited funnels, and you can see all of the information here, the sales, all of that. And the really cool thing about funnels is that you can add a domain name for every single funnel. So you have your main website with its own domain, but if you have 30, let's say 30 funnels in your plan, you could have 30 different domains. So you could have it just, stevensfunnel.pretty-co, or you could connect your own funnel name, and it could be stevensfunnel.com. And so you can really get really targeted with SEO and everything, especially if you use keywords in the URL, you'll be found easier on Google more easily than if you had a main website with a list of all your courses and you're trying to get people to go there. But if you have a funnel that's just for one course, you could have a domain name and native SEO for just that funnel. So it's really cool. And I don't expect you to understand funnels right away, but just know that they are essentially mini websites with one goal. And so on your plan, you can have multiple funnels. So you can create different funnels. You can use ones that we already have created for you, like we have online course funnels, webinar funnels, ebook funnels. So you can choose your own and kind of go through those. And you can see the preview of them and see what each page is doing and all of that stuff. So You know, you can have dashboard, you can create different dashboards and everything like that. So funnels are really cool, really unique, and I wanted to make them even more unique for the beauty industry, and I call them beauty funnels. So I hope that helped you a little bit. And when you go to work on your funnels, you're going to have more videos pop up, and you can always play these videos if you need help understanding funnels. But I also put a bunch of funnel videos on my YouTube every single week. So look out for those. And if you need help, you can always just reach out. All right, now that I've kind of given you an overview on everything, I want to show you where you should get started first. So after you first log in and you've kind of played around a little bit and looked at everything, you're always going to want to start, before you build a website, you're always going to want to start with the settings. And I'm such a stickler about settings, so we'll go through this real fast. So you can access your settings from here, and there's a few things here. So you have your favicon, which is just this. You have your social sharing image that you can change. So when someone shares your website or someone sends a link to someone, this is the image that they'll see. As I said, you can add your own domain to your main website as well as your funnel. So this, when you're on your main website and you go to settings, the domain here is going to be for your main website. So you can change that, you can connect it and go through the steps there. You can also change the language on your site to whatever you want. You can change the time format, so if you want it regular time or military. You can add cookie disclaimers to your website. It's up to you. You can have applications. So let's just save this real quick. You can go to applications here and connect different things. If you don't feel like using our built-in email list, you can use ones that you already have and connect them. You can connect your Facebook pixel, and we'll be coming out with more integrations later on. But you can also connect webhooks, which make it so that you can connect to basically any other website if you understand how to use webhooks. And you can also have personalization. So if someone were to purchase a course or something, let's say, and you bring them to their course dashboard, you could have it say, hey, member first name. And so it would say, hey, Steven, welcome to your course or whatever. So you can get really specific with that on your pages and your funnels and everything. You can do the page SEO as we've kind of gone over already for each page. You have your file manager here, so all the images and everything that you uploaded you can access from there, and you can add custom code in here if you have a developer or you are a developer. This is kind of where you can do that. So now that we've gone through those settings, the first thing after the settings I like to do is set up the global styling. I'm not going to mess with anything here because this is my main website, but I always start with add fonts. So as default, you get about 8 fonts like Arial, Helvetica, Tahoma, the normal ones, but then you also can add 8 other fonts. Now, typically with the website, you have a header font and you have a body font. But if you want more for different images and different sales sequences or whatever, you can have 8 of them here. Okay, so you can add fonts from our huge list of Google fonts. So if you can't find a font in here, I don't know what to tell you. But you can look at it by most popular and you can look at it by alphabetical. But you can also upload your own custom font. So if you bought a font or you're using a free one from dafont.com or whatever, you can add it here, which is actually what I'm using for my main title font. I'm using the font Visby. So it's cool that you can upload your own custom fonts. Now, after you've chosen your fonts, you can go here to text styling and change all the headings, the quote, and the body paragraph to the fonts that you want. Now, like I said, you probably want the heading to be all the same and then the quote and the paragraph to be one as well. You can change the text links color and have them underlined. You can have the hover, and you also want to change this for the mobile as well, so that way the mobile takes on the same styling. Now next in the global styling, you're going to want to go to your color palette, and this is going to be your main colors. When you first sign up, it's going to ask you to pick a primary color. You could have skipped that anyway, but these are basically your brand colors. This is your main primary color. This is what buttons are going to take on, but as you can see, you can change the button color for each button if you want, but by default, it will make all the buttons the same color and other little quirks throughout your site, so that way everything kind of looks cohesive, but you can change everything specifically for each thing if you want. And then the secondary colors are just all your brand colors, so that way they're easily accessible. So when you go to edit something and you want to change a color, they're all just right here for easy access. So go ahead and change those things. You can change the background color for all your pages, so all the pages will be white, but then you can go in page by page and change each background. So if you want different backgrounds for each page, but by default, just so everything stays cohesive, it'll be this color. And same with the main text color, by default, it'll be that color. So as I said, for the page styling on each page, when you go into this global styling section, you can click page styling and change the background image or the color for each page. And so you would do that instead of having to change each section color. And then website layout, you don't really need to mess with this too much. It's kind of default, it's perfect. Okay, now that we've messed with the settings, I'm going to quickly go over a little bit about the builder itself. So I'm actually just going to add a new blank page so we don't mess with anything on my main website, and we will build out with some of the blocks and the widgets and the columns, and I'll show you kind of how all that works. So these are blocks, and AKA they are sections. So you can change the background color of your block if you want to, or your section. You can add a video background, you can add a gradient, you can add an overlay over the picture or whatever. You can add shape dividers, which basically are just these kind of things, you know, different little shape dividers, and you can add an anchor points. So if you've ever seen those sites where someone, you know, you click on the item up here and it brings you down on the same page, that would be what you would do with an anchor point. So you would add the anchor point, put the name in here, and then when you go through into a link, you are able to add anchor points. So if someone clicked templates, it would bring them down to the template section, which is pretty cool. And then columns, these are just the columns inside of the section. So you, by default, get one column, but you can add more by clicking this, and you can create 5 different columns. So you could put 5 different things in here, and you can space them out however you want to, and have fun with that. You can also edit different column settings by just clicking into the column settings. So by column, you can change the background color on a certain one. You could add gradient overlay, same thing. You can make the content alignment in the column be in the middle, the top, or the bottom. You can add a border to your column. You can add a shadow, and which is pretty cool. You can also make it a global column. So if you had, you know, a menu or something that you want to be the same on every page, so if you make a change on one page, that all the pages that have it on it will also change. So you can save this column as a global column, and then when you go in and put another column in somewhere, you can click this as a global column and choose that one, and everything will change as it goes. And then widgets, let's add another block here so I can show you widgets. So widgets are just these items here. You can add different things in, like menus, icons, images, your store, checkouts, everything. So let's just put in like an image widget. So you can easily just add an image into here, and we'll just use a silly picture of me, but you can add, you know, image widgets in, you can stretch it, and then if you want to make it bigger, you can just space it out. Everything is really drag and drop. So you can just kind of make it bigger if you want, whatever you want to do. You can add links to this. So it's nice. You can add an image description. You can have a caption. So you have a little caption box that comes over it, and you can change the layout of that if you want. So there's a lot to do, and there's a lot of different widgets. So you can really build out your site like that. Like with the accordion, I love accordion widgets. I'm such a nerd, but I love accordion widgets. So anyway, that's widgets. And then sections and blocks, you can also add pre-made blocks, so you don't have to build out everything. I've already built out a bunch for you. So you have your big hero section at the top, you have call to action sections, you have image and text sections, just regular text sections, video ones, galleries, team and testimonial ones, footers, features, service menus, portfolio, everything. So if you don't feel like building out everything from scratch, you can just use pre-made sections already. So if you were to choose one, it would already populate for you. You could change your video out and just put your information in and move on. And each item is going to have its own settings. So when you click on like the image, you'll see edit image. It has its own settings in here. If we were to click on the settings for the accordion, you could add the information for each setting in there. You can change the styling settings of the accordion and make it different, look different. And so there's settings in each of these widgets and blocks, which you can mess around with and make however you want. So now that we've kind of gone over everything with the builder and gone through all the different sections and the buttons, Now it's your turn to just kind of play around with it, mess up. Don't feel too pigeonholed to anything. I have a lot of information that will help you out throughout this journey, but the best place to start, and what I tell everyone, is to just start with building out this main website, your main website hub with all your pages and all your information, your blog, your portfolio, your store if you want one. Get that completely finished. Okay, then you're gonna go, if you are doing any funnels like courses or webinars or whatever, ebooks, build those out. Build those out after you've built out your whole main website, first of all, because you will know how to use the builder at that point. If you've built out your whole main website, you're gonna know how to use the builder, and it's exactly the same experience for the funnel. So do your main website, move on to the funnels, and then after you've built out all of that stuff, you can kind of connect and automate everything. So you can make all your buttons go to certain things. You can make it so when someone fills out your form, they get put into an email list and all that kind of stuff. Kind of worry about that stuff last. So first, build out website, second, build out funnels, and then automate and connect everything and check over everything and make sure it's perfect. And if you need any help along the way, as you've seen throughout here, there's videos throughout here that you can play, but you can also go to the main Pretty Dashboard YouTube, which is just youtube.com/@prettydashboard. I update YouTube with tutorials every single day, and I go live every single Saturday morning live on YouTube, and I build out a website from scratch. So you can see me do this exact setup where I go through the settings, I go through the global styling, and then I build out each page of the entire website. So if you need help, do not hesitate to reach out. Please check out the YouTube videos, check out the tutorials, go through all the videos in the builder, and you'll really feel supported. But if you still need additional support, do not hesitate to reach out to me. My name is Steven, and you can reach me at hello@prettydash.co. Thanks, guys. I hope you have fun building, and you are now known to me and known to the world as a pretty builder. So have so much fun. Bye, guys.